Welcome to another installment of Property Vlogs. Guys, I'm so excited to be back with you to tour this house behind me. So we're actually at the back of the house. Yes, full disclosure, this is the back of the house. Why are we starting at the back? Well, outside there is a live site. So this time that we're showing this property, the houses are just being completed and you're in the perfect position to buy a lot of properties off plan and to be in there first to choose your perfect plot. So it's not very pretty just yet, but it will be. So we've decided to show you the back first because this is the show home, this is the garden. So you're kind of getting the garden tour first. But let me go through the stats. We're here to tour the Longwood. We are at Tolson's Mill, which is a development in Tamworth by Peverilhomes. So thank you, Peveril, for having us back to tour this beautiful property. This is the Longwood. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom property, and its approximate size is 903 square feet. So let me tell you more about this property. As you can see, it's red brick and it's also got a mix of blue brick in it. At the back, we've got the tap. These are usually options. You've got the security lighting on sensors. You've got a large bifolding door, and then guys, a Juliet balcony at the back. I love that. You've got a prominent gable with beautiful brickwork details either side. And you've got that mix of the red brick and the blue brick, which kind of, it's a nod to the industrial past of this site, which is the Tolson's Mill side of everything. You've got paving at the front, gravel at the borders. I can already see little construction details. I like to see like the vents to the slabs, which is great to see. Guys, that's that boring architectural stuff jumping in. But let's stop with that. Let's go straight inside now that we've done the garden tour. Welcome inside. Right, so now that we're inside, I want to just go through the first impressions. First of all, it's actually really quiet in here. I did mention earlier that this is still an ongoing site, and as soon as you come inside, it's very nice and quiet. And I love that because that means acoustically, you know, this is one of the perks of new build homes, is they're very, very good in terms of meeting those acoustic targets compared to older homes where you might hear like your neighbors, you know. Anyway, let's get straight into the tour. First impression, right? We're now in kind of like our entryway, this entry zone. It is a fully open plan ground floor. I have to say that. So we'll come straight into the main space, but let's talk about the front door. The front door has this vision panel in the middle, this linear piece of glass with the frosting. And I like the fact that they've kind of etched a little bit of clear glass so you can actually peek through. It's a very stylish way of doing, you know, the traditional, is it peephole, where you kind of look out, you can see who's there, because obviously the frosting means that you can't see outside either, but it still maintains that privacy. I love that. And it's white on the inside. All the doors are dual tones, so they're white on the inside, which goes with the color scheme and the paintwork, but then dark grey on the outside. You've got your letterbox and your door handle. Everything is in chrome. And yeah, that's the front door. You come into this lovely area. You've got the luxury, what looks like it's luxury vinyl tile. And I want to mention, you won't be able to see this, but I can see this. There's actually a bead of clear ceiling across the perimeter of the entire floor. Now, this is to do with new build homes. The standards are just way higher. So when people say, oh, you know, they're so expensive, overpriced, it's all these little details that you get. The fact that it's trapping, it's basically stopping drafts going across the different spaces. And it's nice to see that in these type of homes. So the first room you're going to be introduced to is the downstairs toilet, which it basically has a continuation of that flooring into it. And it's a completely different theme. It's green. I like that. Oh, I love this as well. I love this mirror, this piece of interior design right here. And you've got your sink and your toilet, and as you can see there, they've got like a little standalone storage unit there, a large piece of artwork in terms of proportions, wide and long, very nice. And it's a frontal entry, so it's good to kind of move around. The reason why I talk about accessibility, it's not just you that uses this space, it's also your guests. And if they have any kind of access requirements, it's much easier for them to come in rather than, you know, the traditional pokey spaces. But I do like this. It's a very nice space and it's very conveniently located off the front door. So if you have any workmen or women who need to kind of pop to the bathroom, it's the first door when you come in. Simple. So there is a radiator behind you. You might see that in one of our other clips, but this is the first room that I want to introduce you to. This is your open plan kitchen. So the open plan kitchen, let's work through it methodically, right? Let's start from here. Let's go with what we can see and feel. It's a laminate worktop here with kind of like a very kind of, I'm going to struggle to describe this color. It's almost like a maroon color, but with a muted color, a muted version with a bit of gray in it, basically, and a bit of white. It's not so in your face. It's very on trend. That's what I'm saying. But you've got that bright worktop clashed with that. And then you've got these beautiful, like almost black metal handles across the whole thing. So the storage is all the way along. They open and they're all on soft closers. I love that. So usually things like this are your choice. So you can get to choose exactly the color scheme, finishes, and the handles that you go for. And so you can add your own personality. You don't all have to have a light colored laminate with a maroon cabinet. And they're done in like a very modern flat frontage. I love that. And then you've got your window, a large window there at the front. Half of it is opening. You've got your trickle vents letting in air, fresh air, and then you've got your sink, 1.5 bowl. And this sink is so cool. It's by Capel, and it is a completely white sink, fabricated perfectly. The tap as well is a mixer tap by Capel. You've got the windowsill tiled. I like that detail, so that's good. You know, it's not right by the wet area, so you're not going to get damage to like a wooden windowsill board. You've kind of avoided that issue. And then you've got upstands that go all the way around. The boiler lives there and you can't even hear it. And then as you can see, there's storage all the way across, and it's being used as storage. I know this is a show home, but it also is functioning as a sales office currently, which you'll see more of in a second. So you've got your non-integrated washing machine there. In this case, in the show home, it's by Lamona. And then you've got your 4 gas burner with a large wok burner there by AEG. You've also got your extractor fan above that area just where you need it. They've gone with a stainless steel splashback here, and sometimes that is a choice. And then I like to see the sealant, which matches perfectly with the color of the worktop, which is an off gray sealant. So you can see the dual tone sealant there with the white by the wall and then off gray below. You've got space for an appliance there and a couple of appliance spaces there. They've just put decor there, just kind of to add a bit of flavor. And then instead of going with your traditional oven location, we've got our cutlery drawer here, and then more storage underneath, all on soft closes, storage, and then your integrated oven there with more storage below. Flipping to the other side, walk over, we're going to go here, and this is the fridge. And you do have to guess, like, which side does the fridge open? I'm going to go with this side. Yeah, fun fact, fridges can open both ways, guys, so we're not psychic. But this is a large fridge, as you can see by Lamona. Very, again, things like this are normally flexible depending on the development. I'm just showing you what's here in this show home. The actual specific brands, specifications it's all written in the paperwork when you inquire directly with Peverilhomes. So you've got more storage there. It's kind of like a mini larder / pantry there, full unit of storage, and that completes the kitchen space. And I'm going to spin around now because now I want to introduce you to this. This, guys, is your open plan living and dining area. So okay, there's quite a few things that may not be immediately apparent. I'm going to work through it. So you've got a bit of like space here. You can see the partition, the wall basically stops here. They built it out here, and there's another wall here. And this is the section that you can see has made it the open plan. You could potentially put in doors here if you want to close the space off. You know, you can, but the house comes standard without the doors. It's a fully open plan layout. You've got these 2 slot windows here, and right now we've got a large desk here with 2 chairs. This is actually your consultation space when you come in and you book an appointment to discuss the various plots and house types at this development, and then you want to make an inquiry. But this would easily fit a 6-seater table. It's pushed right against the wall, but you wouldn't need to. You push it here, 2 end chairs, and it's a 6-seater. You can imagine that. And then you go straight from the dining area into this space, which is your open plan kind of living area, family area. 10 out of 10 with the decor. That is such a beautifully framed corner. I love it. I'm going to test it out. Ah, yes, it's comfortable. So yeah, this corner is your kind of like your living area. And from sitting here, you can kind of see, you can almost see the front door. It's a very dynamic and interactive space. You know, someone could be finishing up their lunch. They don't have to hurry up because I'm sat all the way in a different space. I'm just next to them. I like that flow and that concept. You've got a large radiator there and spaces for end tables and additional furniture. Armchairs can be added. You've got these bifolding doors, which, by the way, I mentioned earlier, but again, you saw the garden. It's a good size, and that opens straight up into that space, that little space, your own private space. They've gone with this area being the focal point, but again, you could add another chair there if you're not a TV fan, or maybe do a media wall or a library wall. Got another radiator there, so this space feels very cozy right now. And before we leave, I want to show you what the mystery door is saying. The mystery door is another storeroom. So yes, it is being used as a storeroom, and it does have a light inside. So again, I love to see things like that. That is the first of two store cupboards, and we'll show you more about that in a second. But yeah, I've loved what I've seen so far. So let's go upstairs. Now we're on the landing. Now let's talk about what we're seeing, you know, the usual. So yeah, as you can see, the landing's kind of like a linear shape. So it's long in the middle and it feels very open. I think that's largely just to do with the light quality coming through as well on this site. And then also the fact that it's fully connected. You can see all the way to the back garden. I love that. I also love the artwork on the wall, this gallery wall. And I always talk about this wall being like a focal point and to use that as a feature. I love what they've done in the show home. You do have a single pendant light source above, and they've gone with a really stylish light, and that's the roof hatch to the loft. The loft hatch to the loft. The first mystery door is through here. So as you can see, you've got a nicely sized cupboard, storeroom. There's a light in here. I'm so excited. I don't know why this excites me so much. We've been in a lot of dingy cupboards, and it's just really good to have something that's very functional. When you store items in there, it's going to get very dark. So you do need a light source. And I'm just surprised not many people install those. And it seems like Peverilhomes just understand that that is a necessity, and I love that. Again, I love the gloss paint on the doors. That is something I've seen before, but a lot of designers go for like matte colors nowadays because that's very on trend. But it's nice to see something kind of different, you know, something that used to be very common is now quite rare. Now, enough talking. One of the bedrooms is this one over here. So this is a single bedroom, as you can see. They've put a day bed here, but this could be easily like a playroom or a study or a home office, actually. In terms of proportion, this large day bed, it is very big actually, is nicely kind of, it's going to help us kind of judge the size of the room. So you can fit in a bed, a bedside table. I know, guys, I know it doesn't look like a bedroom, but I'm trying to give you an idea of how you'd lay out your furniture. You'd have your single bed there, a bedside table, or actually you put a wardrobe there, um, a single wardrobe, and I think that would complete the space. You do have a full length window over here with an opening portion on the top half, and that's quite generous in terms of like how much it can open. You've got a large amount of glass there that you can just open and let in fresh air. I love the decor, obviously. A lot of show homes now are kind of really stepping up their game in terms of like, you know, the finishes and stuff like that, the cushions. But yeah, that's what you have in this room. You also have a radiator and the carpeting, guys, throughout the whole entire first floor. Love it. So the second room is over here. This is another nicely proportioned double bedroom actually, and we have opened this up because we want to show you that this room and also the primary bedroom has its own Juliet balcony, and I love that this is a feature on these houses. So right now we've got like an exclusive kind of early access permission to go and film this site. So right now, if you contact the developer using the information in our description, you can really get in there to buy your property off plan, and you have so much in terms of choice of plots to choose from. So it means, unfortunately, in terms of like our footage, we have a lot of construction going on in the background, but we wanted to bring this to you as soon as possible. so that you can get involved at the perfect time. So you can see the Tulsa Mill in the background there and the development that kind of blends in with that architecture. So yeah, that's lovely. I love that. You open both of them up, you can get in the air, the views, everything. I love the paneling and the decor. You know, it's very on trend. You've got a large bed here with a large headboard. Again, I love the styling and the staging. Sometimes we do look at things and we think, oh, I want to take that home as inspiration. And yeah, it really feels like a really nicely proportioned bedroom. You know, they always put like a piece of art or a mirror above the bed. And some people probably think, why do I want a mirror? Guys, it's just to give you an idea of where the TV would go. That's like a little interior design tip there. So if you know if a piece of art can go there, nicely opposite the bed, that's where your TV will go, if you're a TV watcher. So wardrobe is here. I left that till last because it's quite a chunky size wardrobe. You can have a fitted piece if you wanted, or a standalone like they've gone with. Very good size, very deep. There's lots of space for that. Now I'm going to take you to the next room, which is the family bathroom. So we're changing from carpeting to this, what looks like it's luxury vinyl flooring. Again, things like floor finishes, they don't come as standard. You have to discuss that with a developer, so it will have an impact on the final cost that you pay for the house. You can go up or down, so there's that flexibility there to work within your budget. Again, this is the family bathroom. It is a 3-piece suite, like 3.5. I'll tell you why. You've got your standalone sink above your pedestal and your toilet, both the white goods by Rocker. And then talking about sanitary ware, let's go to the bathtub. Really good width, actually length and width. And this is the 0.5 that I mentioned earlier. You've got a shower above the bathtub. And so it kind of is like you do have a shower and a bathtub, even though it's a combined unit. And obviously all of it's fully tiled as standard. Whenever you do go with like a shower, you are going to get that full height tiling, but you can see how there's little accents of that tiling all the way around. And I like the way they've gone up half, but kind of stopped there. When you spin round, you're going to see more of that. In fact, let's do that now. So that's because you've got a towel rail behind the door. So they've kind of gone like this and chopped down, which frames the towel rail. I love that. There's a little shaver socket there right next to the sink where you need it. You would not believe the number of shaver sockets we've seen in random places. And then, yeah, this is the family bathroom. This is the hallway. And then, you ready for it? Do you like the suspense? Do you hate the suspense? Either way, you're going to get suspense. This is the primary bedroom. There's so much light coming in. So we're now edging into autumn, guys, and it's getting colder, and you can still see the amount of beautiful natural light this house gets. And obviously it's a lot to do with the orientation. So the property being more likely to be south facing will help you get more better quality light. However, it's also the fact that all of that wall has glazing on it, and we've had to pull the curtains basically to reduce the amount of glare coming from the glass. You do have a Juliet balcony there, and it's almost wall-to-wall glazing. And then this allows you to have a large bed in the middle. This is a double bed, if not a king size, with 2 bedside tables. And I like the asymmetry they've gone with. So they've not gone too typical with the interior design. Speaking of asymmetry, you've got a mirror on one side. Yes, they do have the same lamps and the same bedside tables, so they're bringing it together. They're making that cohesive, but they've got like a split, a change in the paintwork and then an artwork above that side of the bed. So it's kind of like it gives 2 different personalities, and that wraps all the way around. Oh my gosh, Brian, look at this. This lines perfectly with this wall here. This is the stuff that makes the architect in me just kind of so happy to see these little details. And I will mention, this is a show home, so they've added paint. And if you buy this off plan, you'll get white walls. But I do like that this is slightly off-white. So if you're very kind of OCD, these details matter. So take these tips from our tours, guys, if you want to do something similar with your Longwood. And then you've got, at the far wall, you've got this fitted wardrobe with a sliding door, probably fully customizable. And it's nice to know there's a dedicated space. You do go in, so it's not eating into the space. If you want to go deeper, you can with your own choices, or you can just go without them and just have like a standalone unit or a low-level dresser. I love that. So that's great. And now I'm going to show you what's behind this mystery door, which is it after you or after me? After me. Our primary ensuite. So it feels a bit more kind of like dim in here because the lights have been turned down low. There are 3 beautiful spotlights in here, but again, it's an ensuite, so you're kind of creating that mood. And it's the one to the primary bedroom. It's more grown and kind of a bit more relaxing. You've got your wall-to-wall shower there with a rain, kind of a rainfall feature above. And then you've got a handheld feature as well. And this is actually by a brand called Methven. So if I've said that wrong, forgive me, but that's pretty cool. And usually you see the standard, what is it called? The standard sanitary ware and the taps are usually done by the same companies, but this is a different brand I've not heard of. But they also do this kind of like rain dance feature, which I've seen before, and I love that. And then you've got your toilet and your sink. There's enough space to move around, and a full, almost like a full length towel, heated towel rail. I love that. You've also got a window bringing in light. So even though the light is kind of like more kind of dim and ambient, you've got that ambience around the whole room. You've still got the window bringing in that natural light. You can close the blinds if you want or open it up to get that, wow, brightness. Got the tiling splashback and the Methven kind of taps as well. I love it. Shaver socket as well, which is great. And that concludes the tour. So I'm just going to spin round and finish off. Thank you so much for following us on this tour. If you saw anything that we missed, please leave it in the comments as always. And yeah, subscribe, and we will see you in our next video, which should pop up on the screen. We have done a lot of Peveril house tours, and we have a full playlist of them. So it's been great having you on this tour. We will see you in our next video. Bye.